You're just awesome. Thank you for everything that you've done. I promised myself I wouldn't ever speak after Nina. And now I'm going to promise myself that I'm not going to speak after Larry ever again. But you know, today I'm here. So I want to tell y'all a little bit about my story. I'm a Black Lives Matter activist as well as I'm going to do my best to keep this story as short as possible. But my first crazy encounter with the police was in Houston, where I grew up. I was in the wealthiest area in the city, and I was sitting in the car with my cousin, and I was like, and we were waiting for his car to warm up. And, you know, cops pulled into a private parking lot. This is in a very nice apartment building, and put their headlight on our car, their spotlight on our car, and told us to get out of the car over the speakerphone, put our hands on the wheel. Not told us to get out of the car, they told us to put our hands on the wheel, roll down the windows with one hand, put your hand out, all that kind of stuff. And they got out of the car with their guns drawn, pointed at our faces, and I'm 17 years old at the time, so I'm scared shitless. It's cable, right? Yeah. So I'm scared shitless, and I'm like, you know, what did we do, right? So they come up to the car, they tell us to get out. I asked what we did, he tells us to get out of the car. He tells me if I move too fast, he's gonna shoot my kneecaps out. If I run, he's gonna shoot me in the back. And you know, they proceed to put us on the back of the car, tell us to put our hands on the back of the car. And you know, me being, I grew up in the suburbs. I was a bit of an asshole as a kid. So he's like, bend over. I said, no. You can search me just like this. But not knowing, you know, we didn't have camera phones back then. I might be a little bit older than I look. We didn't have camera phones, and you know, I'm thinking if I would have said no today, you know, and just thinking about my little nephews and nieces, and the cops, you know, today, you know, what are they thinking? And the cops, you know, searched my car illegally. And found my mom's ID. Now this was my mom's car, and my mom is white. And so they saw the ID and they accused me of stealing my mom's car. And, you know, this smart ass was like, so if this is your car, he kept asking me, whose car is this? I kept saying, it's mine, I'm a licensed driver on this car, I drive it all the time. He says, well, if this is your car, who is this? And I said, that's my mom. And he looked at his partner and he said, that's his mom. Fucking identical, right? That's what he said. That's his mom. Fucking identical, right? And then looks back at me like, who is this? And I said, look at our last name, look at our middle name, look at our address, look at our eyes. That's my mom. And he took a second, he laughed to himself a little bit, and he said, get out of here. I said, what were we pulled over for? Oh, there was a crime in the area. As he's walking away. And you know, me being the indignant kid that I was growing up in suburbs, I said, I want your badge number. I want to know what your name is. I want to know everything. And nothing ever came out of this. Nothing ever came out of this, but this informs you know, we always grew up. My dad is black, you know, and he's black. And he's black. He's like, you know, he told me not to touch anything in the store because the FBI will take our fingerprints and frame us. My dad is black. My dad grew up literally picking cotton. It was another form of slavery was to have orphans, an orphanage, and take these kids and make them do labor and collect the checks from the government. But anyway, I digress. So here's the thing. I still love, you know, the good law enforcement officers that are around this country, like the New York 12 that came forward and all these minority officers. They came forward and exposed the quota system. And in this exposing of the quota system, they said what the police what their commanders do, what their supervisors do, is tell them to go into areas of higher income. If they are stationed in areas of lower income, to go into. I'm mixing it up. If they are stationed in areas of higher income, to go to areas of lower income to fill their quota, right? Middle income and higher income have the money to protect themselves. Lower income do not. And you can go and fill your quotas in these areas, and those areas are predominantly minority. So they literally value the lives of the higher income people over the lower income people. And that translates to, these officers who are minorities are saying, you know what, it's hard not to be racist even as a minority officer, because they have the culture of the department. The culture of the department is to value certain lives over other lives, and those lives in the lower income communities tend to be minorities, and the races of the higher income, the majority of the higher income tend to be white. That's wrong. That's wrong. I am pro-cop. I am pro-cop. And I am pro-Black lives. At the same time, we can love our good cops, and we can love our Black lives at the same time. We can love our brown lives at the same time. As a matter of fact, we can love our president. We can love our president and still want him to stop the TPP.